Hayley Williams of Paramore has evidently kind of lost her mind in recent years. She has become radically leftist. You might recall her screaming her endorsement of Kamala Harris last year on stage right off of a script. And that's just scratching the surface.
That's not like some
how
type
much she's
of,
lost her mind.
It was an actual thing. She was like reading off a piece of paper.
Literally holding up a piece of paper for her to read off of a script while she was screaming about how much she hates Trump. And Hayley Williams recently appeared on The Tonight Show to debut a new song off of her album that she released as a solo project. It's called Ego Death at the Bachelorette Party. Which is...
First of all, what in the Kurt Cobain is this shit?
She's literally cosplaying as Kurt Cobain on stage, as you can see. And this song that she is performing is called True Believer. She is getting tons of praise for performing this because of its lyrics. This is an ode to her hometown of Nashville. But in reality, it's actually just sort of an anthem about how much she hates Southerners and
look at that
how racist they are.
Look at that upside down cross.
Yeah.
She's
so freaking edgy. Like, upside down cross in 2025. Like, we're literally so scandalized and offended by this. Like, I'm triggered. I can't. So here were the lyrics. She says, tourists stumble down Broadway. Cumberland keeps claiming bodies. All our best memories were bought and then turned into apartments. The club with all the hardcore shows, now just a grayscale dominoes. The churches overflow each Sunday, greedy Sunday morning. She is complaining about the gentrification of Nashville. And she's also throwing shade at mega churches in the South. Gift shop in the lobby, act like God ain't watching, kill the soul, turn a profit, what lives on, Southern Gotham. And she says about Nashville, I'm the one who still loves your ghost. She says she loves the ghost of this city that she used to love.
So fucking deep.
Because I'm a true believer. They put up chain link fences underneath the biggest bridges. This is her lamenting the anti-homeless architecture so that they can't camp out under the bridges. They put up hostile architecture to prevent people from camping out there.
You thought brutalism was bad.
This line actually throws shade at Lauren Boebert from her photo of her family at Christmas.
Does it reference Beetlejuice?
They pose in Christmas cards with guns as big as all their children. They say that Jesus is the way, but then they gave him a white face so they don't have to pray to someone they deem lesser than them.
See, she's not far enough down the rabbit hole into having the whole discussion about, being a Jew and, God, Jesus being a Jew. Once she gets down that rabbit hole, then she can come back and talk, right?
I just think that's so intellectually dishonest.
Yeah.
Like, every culture has depicted Jesus as being from its own, like, ethnic group. Literally every culture has done that. But it's only wrong when white people do it, apparently.
Well, I mean, how that one really got mimetic for people is the one of the drawing of the Egyptian pharaoh.
Yeah.
That's the one when people think of a guy, they're like...
but Cleopatra was black, right?
Exactly.
In the pre-chorus, she sings, the South will not rise again till it's paid for every sin. Strange fruit, hard bargain, till the roots, Southern Gotham. And the comments
how do they pay
are glazing the hell out of Hayley Williams for this song.
How do they pay for every sin? Didn't they pay in blood with the Civil War? Like, isn't that the whole point? And this is the point. You know what's sad is, like, it's very easy to point out why it is that nonprofits are shady, because for a nonprofit to truly do its job, it should want to put itself out of business, which they never do. The whole point of a nonprofit is to bring attention and get rid of something that they need to exist. And that's kind of true of activism as well. The goalpost has to continuously shift, because if they were to actually solve the problems that they're preaching about, and they never will. And this is going to happen. I mean, this is true of politics for everyone, right? Like, preach whatever you want, but you're never going to actually solve the problem because it's not profitable or beneficial to you to solve the problem.
Well, this is, of course, a profit-driven venture for
Yes.
Hayley Williams on her solo artist arc. She's self-flagellating, and she's like, I'm such a self-hating whitey. Please, deem me an acceptable ally. Here were some of the comments glazing her. Performing a song against evangelical white supremacy in America at a self-proclaimed apolitical white man's show. No one's doing it like Hayley effing Williams.
Who was the apolitical white man?
Jimmy Fallon.
Oh.
Yeah, because Jimmy Fallon is apolitical.
I mean, more
He's
so
more
than
so than
Kimmel
Jimmy
or
Kimmel, but like,
Colbert.
come on now. And another comment said, this is from Biggest Diggus. I've watched this several times since yesterday. I'm a 52-year-old white Englishman. I tear up every time I watch it. Here is an artist at the peak of her powers. I love it when a mainstream artist actually has something to say. This is art and politics and beauty and anger and sadness. It's mesmerizing. So that's the tone of the comments. They're interpreting this song. And she actually recently went on the New York Times Popcast. This is their podcast dedicated to pop culture with John Caramonica. And she talked about this song and what it means, why she is calling attention to racial tensions in the South. She said, I'm never not ready to scream at the top of my lungs about racial issues. I don't know why that became the thing that gets me the most angry. I think it's because it's so intersectional that it overlaps with everything from climate change to LGBTQIA plus issues. She also talked about her song on this album called Discovery Channel, which samples Bloodhound Gang's classic The Bad Touch.
No!
That allowed her to further break down her experience with religion. And in case you weren't aware,
Taking a masterpiece like Bad Touch and ruining it with your bullshit activism should be a crime.
when Hayley Williams and Paramore, to put it more succinctly, was rising to fame, they were an outspoken Christian band. And yeah, their songs weren't very explicitly Christian, or they weren't worship music, but they were outspoken about being Christians. And since then, she's pretty much stopped talking about her Christian faith, and here's what she has to say about it now, referencing this song. While I was deconstructing my faith and my religious upbringing from around the age of 19, I really didn't realize how much of Paramore for me was a religious experience, a God pillar in my life. For Williams, Paramore, she says, is now the backdrop to every conversation. So songs like Discovery Channel are really me roaming the halls of whatever that structure is and trying to take it apart more.
Is Discovery Channel the one that samples the blood?
Yes.
So they literally take the lyric from the song, "You and Me."
Yeah.
Straight to
Actually, I've said this before, but I had a course on, I think this was maybe in my bioethics course or maybe my moral theology course in high school. My teacher opened up the first day of class by saying, like, we ain't nothing but mammals. He literally said it in the most, like, deadpan way possible. We ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like we do it on the Discovery Channel.
That man deserves a raise.
And we were just sitting there like, and he was like, no, listen closely. We ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do it on the Discovery Channel. Now let's really think about what that means. And that's how he like went into the conversation about Catholic teaching on sexuality.
I've changed my mind. I want Bloodhound. I want them to do the halftime show.
And in another song on this album, the self-titled track, Ego Death at the Bachelorette Party, she has this line that gained a lot of attention. She said, I'll be the biggest star at this racist country singer's bar. And she admitted
Because Morgan Wallen owns
that
a bar.
this was directed at Morgan Wallen, who has a bar in Nashville. She says she hates that celebrity singers own bars in Nashville. And she said, I'm always talking about Morgan Wallen. I don't give a shit. Find me at Whole Foods, bitch. I don't care. I just don't care. Mic drop. Hayley Williams, you are such a badass for that. Oh my gosh. Like, you should do like a a singing duel with Morgan Wallen.
Is there like and then somebody was like, I remember somebody saying like she ended him, and then they just put like his monthly Spotify listeners next to hers. And, yeah. Sorry, but he's gonna stay.
I just can't get over like the stupidity of ego death at a bachelorette party for like the name of your album. Sounds like a Taylor Swift song. It also reminds me of the Panic at the Disco album, like Death of a Bachelor. Yeah. Like pretty derivative there. I don't know, like stick to what you're good at. You know, it's a shame. I said it. It's a shame because she's talented and she unfortunately just slid down the rabbit hole over the years and has completely lost her mind. Like it's just a sad thing to see. It's
weird too, because I feel like people in the space, like you're part of an industry where theoretically, now I know music is a little bit different because music, it feels like if you want to be attached in the pop music scene now, some type of lame slacktivism is like a requirement. But you know, you could be part of an industry theoretically where you could just play music and it doesn't have to do anything. It doesn't have to have anything to do with that. Whereas I feel like there's a lot of people in the political space that seem to want to do stuff other than politics and would love to be in an area that isn't so controversial, but they can't help themselves. And the musicians have to trail into politics and social issues.
Well, speaking of which, I just sent you the link to that infamous video of Hayley Williams' tirade against Trump where she's got this production assistant off to the side holding up her script for her.
You're like, hold on.
Now they're implying that this was provided by the DNC. That's not proven, but here's what the script said.
Is Donald Trump's playbook for controlling and punishing women, poor people?
I don't want to get copyrighted by the music. Hold on.
People of color, the LGBTQ+ community. It is time for all Americans.
It's time for all Americans
to band together and to finally defeat.
To band together and to finally defeat
the Trump agenda.
The Trump agenda. I'm guessing that's Project 2025.
And the only way to do that is by confronting him at the polls. Do you want to live in a dictatorship or shut up and vote?
Shut up and vote!
You know, it reminds me of, like, you won't remember this, but
sad.
They've become as like weirdly irrelevant as like back in the early 2000s. They had the Democrats had rock the vote, and Republicans unfortunately had redeem the vote, which was like the Christian conservative version of that campaign. And let's just face it, the rock the vote one just kind of hit a little bit harder with the youth there. But I don't think that that's going to work these days.
Unfortunately, I think that this happened to Hayley Williams because of her divorce, which sounds like a bit of a reach. Like, it sounds like I'm kind of armchairing right now. Mm-hmm. But I just don't think she would have turned out this brain rotted had it been for, you know, maybe a stable relationship with a man that she loves.
Well, I mean, you know, if your life is busy and your life has meaning, then you don't have to worry about these things 24/7. Like if you've got better, literally it's almost as simple as like if you've got better things to do, you don't have
she's been consistently working this whole time. I just think that the problem here is that the divorce really effed her up mentally. Yeah. And she had to use leftist political virtue signaling to like cope with it in a weird way. Mm-hmm. That's just my psychoanalytic take
on
why this happened to her.
Bloodhound Gang on the way home.
Baby, we ain't nothing but mammals.
If you guys haven't,
do it like they do it on the Discovery Channel.
If you haven't listened to the music video to that song or watched the music video to that song, I highly recommend it. It's a cultural experience if ever there was one. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.